Hi everybody, in this video series I'm going to show you how to make your own kill team / Warcry board. In this first part I'm going to show you how to make the basic frame, and we are going to take a look at all the steps before painting. Now the board is already done, so please, before we start, let's go and take a look at the finished board. I'm calling it the Black Temple. Welcome to the workshop. If you like what you're seeing, please like, subscribe, you know what to do. Follow me around on my social media. You can find the links in the description below. Now it's time to take a look at the tools and the materials. Let's go. This piece of styrofoam packaging is the main inspiration for the kill team part of the board. Now I had to take a couple of things in consideration. It had to be cross-compatible, meaning a design that fits both universes. The board has to be modular for storage, so it has to be as flat as possible. And then I'm going to use it as a display piece for future projects. The frame for this board is probably as easy as it gets. It's simply a backing of 3mm MDF, and the sidings are pine wood, so I just had my lumber shop cut it to the exact specifications. Glued it together with PVA, used a couple of clamps, not even bothering with screws or anything. That's it. Now I reduced the polystyrene shape a lot, and I made a tracing on the MDF because I need to build up the soil to make place for the sunken Black Temple, which is going to be the main feature for the Warcry part. For this I use 5mm foam board. Now this one happens to be black just because I had it lying around, but you can use whatever you want. And I'm cutting and shaping the foam board to align as much as possible with the shape of the polystyrene. Of course, a hobby knife and some measuring tools are very useful for this kind of project. Here you can see a very much reduced shape. I was primarily interested in the center. This is going to be the basis for our sewer system. Throughout the entire project you will see me coming back with the polystyrene to make sure that the alignment is as good as it gets. One of the downfalls of a modular board are the ugly gaps that are formed between the scenery pieces and the board itself. So to mitigate this problem as much as possible, I keep checking and refining. With everything cut to size, it was time to glue it down. For this I used my fast drying PVA glue. First a last checkup to ensure a good bond. I weigh everything down for about 15 minutes. It is fast drying PVA glue after all, and then it's time for the next step. The Black Sunken Temple, I needed a theme that would fit on the basic board for the both worlds. And I thought, well, Warcry, an arcane temple submerged on the ground. I hope you can see the Necron link to the Kill Team universe there. Started by shaping the sides of the foam board. And then you can see the drawing I made. I cut out these shapes to where the pieces of the temple would lay. The cutouts were used as a template to make the basic shape of the temple. For this I used 3mm foam board. I just drew on a basic design of where I want some paneling to be. Cut it out, and then I made some side pieces, again from the 3mm foam board. Cut to size with a gentle slope so it sticks out a little bit from the ground. To get rid of the ugly side of the foam board, I do elaborate cut on the side pieces. Just scrape your knife against the cardboard, and then about 3mm in, since the thickness of the foam is 3mm, and then you have a nice and clean side. For the outer shell of the temple I went with 75mm plastic card. First I drew on a simple pattern. I wanted to slightly resemble Necrons but not too much, so it still fits in with the Warcry universe. So just some simple lines here and there was all that was needed. A fantastic tool that I recently found out about is the Tamiya Scriber. This is fantastic if you want to cut styrene, but also if you want to scribe in a pattern. It cuts in a V shape, so if you gently run through the scribing tool a couple of times, you get this nice groove. So I did all the panels for the temple like this, and probably going to use it again if I'm going to make a bunch of Necron terrain for my kill team table. That's the beauty of this design. I can go all kinds of directions. I can go fantasy and sci-fi. If you have any ideas, please share in the comment section below, and maybe in the future I can build some of those. After gluing down the temple pieces with PVA glue, it's time to get busy on the groundwork. For this I use Luke's APS modeling compound. You mix that stuff up with a little bit of water, and you just apply it with your hands. Last step is to use the polystyrene shape as a last means to get rid of the gaps as much as possible. I want to thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, you know what to do. I'll see you as soon as possible for the painting part of this board. Thank you very much. Bye.